evening, everyone. Got an action-packed show for y'all tonight. To my right here is the man, the myth, the legend, Tim Dills. Down below me is He-Man himself, Mr. Rob Effler. And then down there in the bottom right-hand corner, that is Mr. George Lunsford. I'm trying to figure out what Rambo. There we go. We'll call George Rambo. All right. So
I'm your guardian.
We got to treat George with respect. You know, he's a published author, so that's Mr. Lunsford in the bottom.
Mr. Lunsford. Mr. Lunsford. Hey, instead of Munster, he's Lunsford.
No, I am the guardian over Harley.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, so does that make you the illustrious potentate now?
That makes Harley the illustrious potentate.
Oh, Harley's the illustrious potentate. Ah, I see, said the blind man with his deaf and dumb dog.
All right. Yeah. So, fellas, Saturday was very, very interesting.
Yes, it was.
Holy cow! I still can't believe it.
I told you I had a pretty good spot up here.
It didn't disappoint, that's for sure.
I had a feeling it was going to be good, but it exceeded my expectations.
I got to say though, the best part was watching Harley gag. It reminded me of the P-post. It reminded me of the P-post. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
It was.
That's the reason why I was cracking up today. Him hard, and I seen him vapor locking and flopping like a dying chicken over.
You know, I ain't saying much because I wasn't far behind him.
You wasn't far
that close.
No, like listen, the video that I posted yesterday, it's already got 2.7 thousand views from part one. So I've still got 2 more parts to upload and get on my channel. So they're doing good. They're doing good, really good. All right, let's see here. We got Pamela Stefanich in the chat. We got Jesse Underwood. All right, we got a pretty good little.
All right, everybody.
All right, we got 6 y'all here. All right, so I'm gonna start with Tim. Since everybody kind of knows Robert and George so far, since we've already had a live with them. So Tim, just kind of give them a backstory behind you, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. I got started in this in 2008 on my buddy's property. Didn't have an idea there was anywhere in our neck of the woods whatsoever. I mean, that was the furthest thing from my mind. I thought I had a pretty good grip on things that, at my age, I've seen a lot of stuff and thought I had a pretty good grip on things, and then run into these creatures. And it's since 2008, I have seen 3 different ones here in the county I live in, plus one over in Tennessee at Cage Cove. And I've had, honest to goodness, I can't tell you everything, all the encounters that I've had, because for years I didn't keep up with it. It was just come home and tell my wife and my kid, well, they done this while we was up there. They done this, that, or the other. I think it was 2017, somewhere around in there, I got up with Dwight Campbell and Bob Trent in Dirty South Squatchin, and they got me to recording stuff, and they're still working on it because I'll record half the day and they hit record. So, but they're working with me on it slowly but surely. But that's the other group that I'm in, and they're actually squatching tonight. And if my grandkids hadn't have been here, I'd have probably been with them. But that's how I got into it. And like I say, I've had so many encounters, rocks thrown. I've heard them speak a couple of different times. I got it mixed up in one of their deer drives. I've had a lot of encounters with them, throwing sticks and rocks and putting stuff in my trails up to where we deer hunt at and all of that stuff. So that's how I got started in it.
Yeah, yeah, and I will say this: you know what you're doing, because let me tell you, I knew instantly when we started pulling into them woods. You seen me hanging out the truck window. I knew that place was something. I had that feeling. My arm hairs were sticking up. I mean, I could feel it. I could feel it. I knew it was going to happen, and I couldn't believe it. So George, kind of talk about your little contraption that you cooked up.
Well, I got to look at the way people did their video cams or trail cams. And I mean, let's face it, Bigfoot is 8 to 12 feet tall. Putting your trail cam at 6 feet doesn't make a lot of sense at all. Because even if you get a good shot, you're going to get him about the belly button. So I decided we need to go high. So I designed I made a bee's nest. It looks just like a hornet's nest. I put it on a rod and I hung it up in a tree with a camera in it.
Yep.
And we're going to find out if it works.
Yeah, absolutely. And they for those that haven't seen the latest video that I've uploaded in my channel, go check it out. The nest is in that video. I mean, you can check it up, watch George hanging it. It's pretty sweet. So, Robert,
Yeah.
let's kind of talk about when we get into the woods there and what we found first. So, can you kind of dig into that a little bit? You remember?
My Alzheimer's is kicking in or refresh my memory.
The tracks. And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we was finding some pretty good tracks there, and it just basically the woods just exploded with evidence. I mean, without a shadow of a doubt, we knew we were in a very good hot spot, and it wasn't anything else. It wasn't deer. It wasn't bear sign. It wasn't elk sign or anything else for that matter. We just came around the corner, and lo and behold, right there it was.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was something. I mean, we found them 3 tracks with an 8-foot stride in between each other. That was pretty wild.
Oh, that right there has still got my mind blown. That's first time I've seen a trackway in a pretty good while.
That 8 foot in between each track, I couldn't believe that. I mean, that was.
Well, between the tape measure and you stepping it off, I mean, you couldn't mistake and be off on the measurements probably over what, 1/8 of an inch?
Yeah, I mean, I wear a size 12, so I mean that's a foot. So I mean, I just heel toed it. So 8 foot.
You sure did.
That's pretty wild.
And
And
one,
my tape measure too.
Yeah, yeah.
one thing was how that was helping us was how high the undergrowth was, because it was waist high on us, and you could see exactly where that thing walked.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
That undergrowth was unbelievable there. I couldn't believe it. I mean,
I know,
it's thousand
speaking of
wonders we didn't
everything-
want across the sink.
As thick as everything was back in there, if something other really and truly wanted to, it could have hid from you at 14 feet and you'd have never seen it unless it made a noise or moved.
Exactly.
Well, apparently from those videos, something did hide from us 14 or 15 feet away from us. We didn't know.
Yeah, that was wild. After we got to reviewing the pictures and everything, and Harley was finding what was through the woods.
Well, it
They were
wasn't
a
even
lot.
just Harley. It was the people online was finding them.
Yeah, a lot closer than what we realized. But I mean, me and Michelle seen that one. When it's leaning out, looking at us. I mean, I got that one on video. It was leaning out, and then it leaves, and I go back after helping Tim hang up that camera, and it was gone.
I'd say I like the way Tim hung his cameras too.
Yeah,
Did you
talk
use those
about that.
180 degree?
I took went to Home Depot and got some of the flag poles that are mount, and I think we got some bait next time we go. I've got 2 dogs to take. Um, but I got flagpole holders that mount to a post and they swivel so I can tilt it one way or the other. And I took that, and I'm a little over 6 foot tall, so I reached up on the pole and probably had them. I'd say they was probably up between 12 and 15 feet.
Every
yeah.
bit of it, yeah.
And then we took straps and strapped the bottom, but we also took and tied a rope to the top of it and pulled it back against the tree to hold it up. And then that way, instead of setting like this, it was angled towards the ground with those. And I think those are going to work real good. I've got to do a little. I've got to go back to Home Depot and get some exactly like the first one I got. And if the time lapse cameras that we put up there, we put 2 of them on each side of the tree that picks up 180 degrees. So if something happens and they're gone, or if I have to put, they don't work good or something, then I'm going to take just regular trail cameras, because up that high, it's going, you know, those things have like a 70 foot that they'll trigger out to about 70 foot. Mm-hmm. So, if the time lapse don't work like I'm hoping it will, then I'll just put in a regular trail cam, and we'll go with that and see what happens.
Well, I had mine set on video, so it takes whatever trips it off, you get 10 seconds of video. Mm-hmm. Right. And it has an 80-foot range. I looked it up online, and that model camera had an 80-foot range for movement. All right, you got the best helper of all.
Yeah.
This is my granddaughter, Charlotte. We call her Charlotte. And she's going to whoop every boy around. She's just
that's good.
And as much as she loves Papa, she'll be right behind you.
So I remember after we got done hanging them cameras up and stuff, we heard that what we thought was a woodpecker.
Yeah.
Now that's got my mind blown.
It sounded like an AR-15 going off, did it not?
Yes,
that's what Robert said.
That's exactly what it sounded like. I thought somebody was shooting at us there for a split second. I thought, God dang, somebody done pulled out an AR-15 trying to run us off. And it was a darn woodpecker.
What gets me is, and it might you guys too, but after watching that video of the way that ape done that, and then that up there to have the very exact same, it done at the very exact note for note rhythm, whatever you want to call it. It done the very exact same.
Yeah, like rhythm. Every time. Every time we heard it.
Yeah.
We heard it a lot.
Yeah. And I never did all my life. I thought, well, that's just a woodpecker. But until I saw that, there goes Sasquatch. That's my boy Matt. He's actually seen one too. And
hey Matt,
I like the grunt style shirt.
But until I seen that video and heard that rhythm, I know that I'd heard that rhythm before, that sequence, and it's awful suspicious that a woodpecker, every time it does it, because most pet woodpeckers, especially like we got the pileated ones, the big ones, and they do it as they need to. It's not a rhythm. It's just a, peck, 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 tire bark out, tire tree out, all that stuff. There's no rhythm to it. With any woodpecker I've ever seen, there's no rhythm to it. And then here this thing is making the same rhythm that the ape made. So that honestly blowed my mind.
I'm still got Charlie horse.
I got a Charlie horse. Hold on a minute. I'll be right back. I got a Charlie horse. Keep going.
You know, this would only happen to Harley. That's all I'm saying.
That's exactly
right. You know there's a joke in there somewhere, and I'm fixing to find it.
Oh yeah. Well, next time we meet up, he's had it.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna have to let him understand and realize, even though he is 20 years younger than we are, you cannot go through chapter 1 through 13 of the Karma Sutra book in one night. You'll wind up turning yourself into a Chinese pretzel.
I can't even say it, much less do it.
Well,
I thought that was some kind of soup fire to start with, isn't it? No, it ain't.
I think it's got something to do with them Chinese noodles. I ain't sure.
Yeah.
That's like a wang bong. Oh Lord. All thing I know for sure is Harley gets funny look in his face when he does these
I'm
things.
back.
He's got his helper now.
I'm
There you
hurt.
go.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddies.
Hey.
Hey, what you doing there?
What did I say?
You have a good day?
No.
What's this?
Tell
What's
them,
this?
tell them guys about the playground we found.
What
Oh,
else?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Here,
That was
go in there, mommy.
something
Go
else.
with mommy.
It was. And I
Go with
can't
Mama.
We
believe
had rocks thrown at us, we probably would never have found it.
Do what?
Very true.
We had rocks thrown at us, we probably would have never have found it.
I still want to know where that daggum rock went.
Oh, you
Yeah,
ain't the
that's
only
still-
one. That's been driving
Hey,
me crazy.
speaking of that, I had one throw a rock at me today, and I couldn't find it. I seen where it landed.
Me off because I seen that stupid rock hit the ground and I went to get it. It was gone.
That's what happened to me. I went to go look for it, and I couldn't find it. Girls, go on.
Next time, I'm finding that stupid rock and it's going in a bag. That's all I'm saying.
You ain't gonna take her play pretty away from them, are you?
Yes, I am.
She said, Pamela said, Charlie Horse Harley.
I like that.
That's a good name for him.
Yeah, Charlie Horse Harley. Yeah, it kind of rhymes a little bit. No,
Oh, yeah. But I can't figure that out. We watched the rock come through the trees and hit the ground,
Mm-hmm.
and we looked everywhere for that freaking rock and it was gone.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it
then
was
we
that
got-
big.
yeah,
It is half the size of a softball.
yeah.
It was
It's a little
between the
bit
size of a
smaller
golf
than a
ball
baseball.
and a baseball.
Mhm.
Right
Yeah.
in between them.
Yep.
And I can't
What's-
figure out where the crap that thing went. I looked all over the place over there.
I-
Me and Holly both did.
Yeah, and then George got the feeling that I needed to get out of there, so I
Yeah.
kinda got out of there. Yeah, that was kind of scary.
Yeah, that was weird because he walked over there when we walked down about a tree and he walked on the other side. There was something telling me, get him out of there. And I don't know what it was, but he had to go. If I had to pick him up and throw him on my shoulder, he was going out of that spot.
Yeah,
That wouldn't have been no problem. He'd have got a Charlie horse and
That's
then
true.
yeah, I'd have
you
went
could have got
down.
him out.
Mm.
But I don't know what it was the strongest feeling I've had in a long time was to get him out of that area.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. It's like
And
it's
when you
drawing
have
me
them-
in.
When you have them feelings, you better listen to it.
Oh,
I did.
yeah.
Well, what was weird was that tree that was there. You know, it had that one limb that was wilted and dead, and it smelled like it was burnt. I have no explanation for that. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah, that was kind of strange. We got some weird smells this time we've never got before.
Oh, it was horrible.
Them
Oh,
two
God.
bedding areas were, they were rough.
I about vomited. I really did, y'all.
Yes, you did.
But there's one thing you're forgetting about, though.
Oh, the vocals.
Bubbles.
No.
Vocals.
The
Your maiden
sneeze-
call.
Uh-huh.
sneeze communication he had with the Bigfoot.
Yeah, that's
I've
gonna
been
be
laughing
part
my
three.
head off over that one. I'll just sit there and bust out dying laughing. Michelle will look at me and she'll go, "What in the name of God's the matter with you? Do I have to take you to the nervous hospital?" I said, "Please." And
Well,
instead of what I'm
me,
worried
it
about.
wasn't just one response, it was two. We didn't know it.
Two.
Ah,
Yeah, you had two responses.
Yes.
One right after you sneezed, it went.
And me and
then,
Harley heard that one clear as day.
I heard that first one, but I didn't hear the second one.
it was a
That's
whoop.
on the video.
It was a whoop. Like a whoop.
I guarantee you, I probably startled it because for
You
those out
started
there
this off.
that don't know me, I don't sneeze like a complete teetotal normal person.
No,
When
he
I
does not.
sneeze,
No.
I rear back and let it go because if I don't and try to stifle it, I will vapor lock and sneeze faster than my heart's a beating, and I'll lose my breath. So that's the reason why when I feel a sneeze coming on, I'll just haul off and go, "Ah, you," and let her fly.
Yeah.
No.
That's what he did.
No. He goes, wahoo!
Yeah, that's what he did.
Sneeze. And the
It's
Bigfoot's
on
like,
video. It's on video. And then right after he sneezes, that's when me and George hear from up on the ridge behind us.
yeah, I
want to hear the second one.
We turned and looked. Me and Harley both did.
I thought he was breathing down her neck. That's how close it sounded.
But on the video, you can actually hear something go, whoop. After
I never heard the whoop. I never heard the whoop. I remember hearing the but I don't remember hearing the whoop, but the phone picked it up.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It was
And
wild.
We have.
Back
I think I need to sneeze more often in the woods.
That sounds good. We'll start carrying pepper with us.
back up there at that playground area, you know,
Oh, yeah.
we talked about how high the weeds was. The weeds was high everywhere we went except for under that.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
had
that
been
whole area.
it had been trampled down to bare ground.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's what I thought was, you know, pretty. What else could it have been?
Well,
There's one
I
spot
seen
where-
one and Harley seen one.
Yeah,
Little-
that's right. You hadn't seen the two juveniles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mine
I
was
seen
the
one
dark
going
colored,
down
his
over
was
the hill.
brown.
And but the way the weeds and stuff was mashed down and stuff, there's no other explanation.
No.
No. Lord,
I
Out of
agree.
that whole area, one spot where all that structure is crisscrossed and all that stuff, that one spot's got every bit of the grass and weeds and everything just matted down.
Yeah.
Well, you got to think about it too. That tree, that one big tree was brought in from a totally different area because
It
that
was.
stump was not from the same tree.
No,
No,
because
that's two different species.
on one of my videos, I compared them, and that other tree, the big tree that's carried in, is about that much wider than what the stump was.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, what amazed me about that area too was when we went up the hill, me and Harley and Michelle, we went up that hill and we found that other bedding area up there that stunk to high heaven. We got growled at, and I got to looking, and down that game trail, there was sticks stuck up every 3 feet in the ground.
like they were marking that for them youngins to stay inside that boundary or something. That's the only thing I can think of it being. It's
And
like
they were that deep in the ground, and I tried pushing one of those sticks back in, and I got it like that deep in the ground.
it's like a baby gate for them, so to speak. You know how like we make baby gates for our kids? That's pretty much their baby gate. I
Yeah.
think.
That
No other
No.
choice.
not in that area, but in one of my other areas, I come across one that was drove down in the ground like that, and I picked it up and throwed it down. And next time I was in there a couple of days later, because I was in there deer hunting, and I come back and that same stick was drove back up in the ground again. Picked it up, throwed it down, come back, and it was right back. So evidently there's something about them, and I'd say Yuns is probably exactly right. It's just a boundary for those little ones to know you stay this side, or don't go past this stick, or
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now,
you've got more than Bigfoot going on up there.
oh yeah.
there's all kinds. And reportedly, from what I've heard from people, there's quite a bit more stuff up there than Bigfoot.
Well,
Um,
that's
Another
what my
dog
buddy
name.
sent me. That's a black canine-like creature, you know, and that was from me and yours video. When
yeah,
I was helping you video at camera,
yeah.
it
And
was right there watching us.
up there, I've also heard from some guys, and I mean, they didn't. This has been a few years ago when I first found that area, and was talking to them not far from there. They had actually seen a goat man stand up like a man, face sort of like a man, but it's got goat horns. And
Now that's a new one we ain't seen yet.
Holy cow!
they wasn't, you know, they wasn't. This was good old boys. They didn't have no reason to lie about any of it. And
Well, I
I
just
said, well, I've not seen that. And both they was three of them, and two out of the three had seen it. And they said, well, you do know that is one of the place where they hold satanic rituals, don't you?
that's what I was about to say.
And I was like, well, I've heard about them doing that, but I hadn't. But all of that was right there. Now that's not in the area we was at, but it's as a crow flies, it's just a mile or so away.
Oh,
So it's
man.
within range
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
easily.
that's terrifying.
It's nothing for something like that to travel, whether it's going to, you know, come in to help something other else, or whether it's going to come in and cause mayhem. Either one.
Yeah.
Now, to me, that's more terrifying than Lizard Man is.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's demonic. You ask me, goat man and stuff like that. That stuff's demonic, man. I mean,
Yeah.
look at the pentagram and all that stuff, man. I mean, that's you worshiping the devil. You doing a lot of wrong things. That's wild.
That's one of them. The only way I'd shoot a Bigfoot now, knowing what I do, would be self defense.
Yeah,
But when
me
the
too.
goats come at me, I may have something mounted on the wall that ain't nobody ever seen, because I ain't playing around with that kind of stuff.
No,
Yeah, you never know.
I'm with you on
not
that now.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy things going on, man. I mean, that like here recently, man. Like today, did I send y'all those pictures of those claw marks in the group
Yeah.
chat?
Mhm.
Yeah, that looks more like a Lizard Man than does anything else.
Dude, the claw marks are so perfectly. It's just like a perfect scratch. Like they're all the perfect width apart. Like it just took its hand and just scratched down through there. You know, I mean that. Wow. And then the track that I found.
Now, I seen
three-tone
the
track.
track. That's what made me say it.
There's a
And the
lot.
bad thing is,
going on.
reports I've been getting from close to there are some Lizard Man reports close towards Rogersville and everything.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
See what Pamela Stefanich, I think that's how you pronounce her name.
Grizzly Chris recently had an amazing goat man witness recently. Many goat man encounters in the family. Well, we may have to get in contact with that individual. I like the sound of that. I got to catch up on the comments. My bad. We got Rod's Fishing Adventures, Nana for Trump. We got Joanna Eisen. We got Tammy. Tammy's in the house. And Catherine. Thank you, everybody. So, with new adventure that we've got on ourselves into.
Oh, but wait, there's one more thing we didn't discuss. That was the biggest thing we've seen out there. The tree
nest.
house.
The nest. Yeah, the nest in the tree.
The big nest in the tree.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that sucker was.
And none of us got a good picture of it.
I thought mine was all right. I mean,
It was okay, but what the picture we needed was where that other tree had been pushed over, and it looked like a
slide,
a trail straight up there to it,
like a slide or something. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I've never seen that before.
Well, when we go back, we'll get plenty of pictures and we'll get videos of it too. Heck, I'll climb up there. I'll see what's in it. Might be a pterodactyl egg or something in there.
Hey, nothing would surprise me anymore.
No, it wouldn't.
All the stuff we've encountered and all the pictures we've done, nothing would amaze me anymore.
Hey, I mean, never know. We might find a T-Rex.
Well, we did find the big handprint.
Yeah, exactly. That big handprint. Yeah, I forgot about that.
that big T-Rex.
That'll be in part 2 of the videos.
That T-Rex.
MIB's listening. MIB's listening. Y'all glitched out.
That T-Rex is above Nantahala Lake, so I'll take it.
Okay. We need to go investigate Nantahala Lake, I reckon.
And that's where actually we do need to go over there, because that's where I had my very first sighting, and also back last year during turkey season, that one hollered at me 4 times.
Oh yeah,
during turkey season. Yeah.
Well, I'll go anywhere y'all want to go. I don't care.
I mean,
I'm game.
I want to check out that new place Harley's found for us, though.
Mhm.
When we get on the map,
yeah. Today was wild, y'all. Like, I've never been so scared in all my life. I mean, I stayed in the woods for 2 hours, and that's the shortest I've ever been in the woods.
Well,
It scared me.
What happened?
So I get out there. I leave a little bit before 7. Tom was originally going to come with me, the guy from Blue Ridge Bigfoot that I'm friends with, and he's hurt his back, so he couldn't come. And I decided to just go on out there. I think I'm going to go to Trip. Nope. I decided to go to this other place.
Don't say the places.
Sorry.
Force of habit.
Yeah, it's force of habit. So I go to this other place, and I'm driving in, and I keep going, and I cross this first creek, and I'm like, okay. I keep heading on up another creek. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to make it across this one. It's too deep. So I park, get out, go across this creek in my muck boots. And I'm going up, and my arm hair is sticking up. I'm like, something's off in this place. And it's dark and spooky in this place and all the trees and stuff. I'm like, it looks like something out of this world in this place. So I get up there, and I'm walking around looking at this place, and it's unbelievable. It is crazy. I mean, from what I told y'all earlier, I mean, it was an uneasy feeling. Some of these graves in this old place were from, well, I mean, they were engraved in rock, so that's how old they are.
Oh, so we're talking Civil War type era.
I'm older, maybe 17s.
Okay.
So I'm standing around there looking, and I addressed that there may be an issue that somebody already knows about the Sasquatch being in this place. And so I'm working my way back out of there, and I have these feelings. I'm being watched, and I'm looking, and I'm pretty sure I seen another one on my way coming out of that place. But I get back to where the vehicle is, and I hear movement. So I go over through there looking, and then all of a sudden these things start throwing rocks at me, and I'm just like, well, this is nice. Y'all don't want me in here. I guess I'm just going to leave. But then I see something moving out of the corner of my eye. And when I look, I see a little tiny head propped up on this log looking at me. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's a baby. It's a baby. That little sucker was just laying there looking at me like he didn't even move or nothing. His eyes was wide open. He was brown. He had black eyes. He just laying there looking at me. And I'm just like, holy crap. It's right there. It's a baby Bigfoot. So I'm just trying to get around him to where I can get a video of him really good to where I can at least get him to move. The stupid thing doesn't move. And then all of a sudden they start throwing more stuff. They're throwing stuff to my left. They're throwing stuff to my right. And I'm just like, holy crap. So I decided to just start going off to the right a little bit to see if it moves. And then I look, the stupid thing's gone. I'm just like, holy crap. So I go to working my way back out, and I find a fresh track literally in the direction that I just came from. And I did not see it on my way in because there was a game trail that I walked into, and this track was not there, and it was there on my way back out. But it was kind of like a slide. But you stepped there and it slid. It was a fresh. And as I'm standing there looking, and I've got this on video, and they're throwing more crap at me. I said, the more stuff you throw at me, I said, the longer I'm going to be here. Buddy, I didn't stick around much longer after that. I got out of there. I wasn't fooling around. I wasn't pissing them off.
You should pick it up and throw it back.
Do what?
Pick it up and throw it back.
I couldn't find nothing everywhere they were throwing stuff at. Literally, one would throw something and then another one would. They were working up above me on the ridge because I was down in this flat and they were up on the ridge towards where our other place is. Because that ridge separates both of our locations.
Well, you know,
and they were up on top of that ridge.
There's 2 ridges. So there's actually a ridge where you've seen them.
I've never been
There's a valley and another ridge. I went on the map and looked again.
Yeah, our audio is wigging out here. MIB is listening to us.
They always listen to us.
Yeah.
Well, you know, Michelle's going to be mad at you.
Who?
At you.
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
You seen that little one, you didn't catch it and bring it so she can teach you how to clean out the barn.
Hey, that little sucker could probably start swinging me around like Donkey Kong. That thing. I'm knocked off my.
Easy killer. Easy killer.
Calm down, wild man.
He's about to the point where he can thread a sewing machine and it'll run and he's vibrating so hard.
I'm all worked up, boys. I can't help it. I'm excited. You know how I get? I get my energy vibe, and I can't help it.
I
swear.
I think I found out where his man cave is. I think it's a closet because that was coat hangers that fell.
Yeah, exactly. It's my own little closet that I have. Okay, I mean,
there you go.
The girls' room.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Me and my wife got our own closet, so this is just an extra closet that I've made into my man cave because I got my big computer right here and everything else ready to go. So it'll work.
I'm sitting at the kitchen table. That feels more natural.
I'm sitting at my recliner.
I'm in the spire bedroom. I don't have a green screen up or nothing. I've been trying to get everything going for the past month and a half. And every time I turn around, if it ain't one darn thing, it's something else. Finally got my dang truck fixed this evening. Had to put a wheel bearing in it and a tie rod on it.
Oh, no.
Ew.
Cost me about $80 to get it fixed, not counting the parts. So
you got out cheap.
I gotta catch up on his comments. Hold up. I gotta catch up on his comments.
Oh, catch up on the comments.
Tammy says, "Mommy protecting her baby." Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it wasn't just mommy. There were several different ones, I think. I mean, because literally one rock would be thrown from one direction and the other rocks would be thrown from the other direction. Joanna says, "Show us the videos, please." Part 1 is already posted on my channel. Part 2 will be up probably Sunday, and then part 3 will be up probably Tuesday or Wednesday. So if you haven't seen part 1, go check out part 1. I mean, there's me, Tim, George, and Robert's wife in there. So you have to go check it out, please.
Doug in it?
He's in part 2. And no, he's in part 3. He's gonna be in part 3 because part 2 is when we find when we were at the tracks and all that stuff. I stopped part 1 whenever we're first at the tracks. So then part 2 is going to be when we're at the tracks and the handprint, and after that. And then part 3 is going to be when Doug shows up, and from then on out. Until
so is that my comment about the M&Ms?
Huh?
The baby rabbits and the M&Ms?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be in there, yeah. Let's see. Pamela says, question, has Tim experienced mind speak or just the vocals? He said he heard the speak in his intro tonight.
Yeah, I think it's vocals. I guess when it comes to mind speak, I'm on VHF and they're on UHF or something like that. But it was actual vocals, 2 of them talking back and forth to each other. That's actually when I decided that I would not kill one. Because before that, I knew that if I spent enough time in the woods, it wouldn't, sooner or later I'd come across one. Not bragging or nothing like that, but I know what I'm doing in the woods. And
yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
So I thought my sole purpose was to get one off my buddy's property so that we could settle the debate once and for all. but after hearing them speak 2 different evenings back to back, one was on the Tuesday and the second one was on the Thursday. That's the 2 times I was in at my deer stand, and them talking back and forth to each other. Since then, I ain't, like I said, the only way I'll kill one now is just self-protection, and being around them as much as I have, I honestly don't think that's going to be an issue, because if it was, they'd have done and had me a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of them have good intentions, so to speak.
Yeah.
Others not so much.
I think it's just like people.
Yeah,
You know, and if you get to thinking about it, maybe some of the ones that are a little more aggressive or something like that could be ones that's been kicked out. They're reaching that age to where it's time for them to get on their own.
Yeah.
So they're having to go in, set up their whole new area. They're having to find food. They're having to find cover. They're having to do all of that. So they're going to act aggressive to try to get people to leave them alone so that they can do that. And it could also be, and I'm just guessing, but it could be sometimes that it's an older one that cannot
don't want to be fooled around with. Yeah,
one that's maybe that's been hurt and it's the outcast now. So sort of like when a lion or a bear or something like that gets whooped and they kick it out. Maybe the reason they're being aggressive is that's the only way they can get their food. They're not able to run the deer and hogs down anymore. That kind of stuff. There was actually a story of Land Between the Lakes of a guy that is an elderly guy. He died of a heart attack when one come out of the weeds and got his dog. He had a big dog. It was like a St. Bernard or German Shepherd pit bull, something like that. Oh. And it actually got his dog. The man died with a heart attack, and they found the leash for the dog and stuff like that where it had, and they said that the guy that was telling me about it, Tim Coonbo, he was telling me about it, and they're figuring that it was an old one that couldn't hunt deer and that kind of stuff no more. So it took the easiest prey that it could.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that would make sense. But I'm wondering, something Tim said to caught my attention. They're not able to hunt down their prey. What if that correlates back into our puppy dog friends?
One other thing my son just put up, I forgot about this one, the time that it sounded like they cussed me out when I messed up their deer drive. And I mean, they was not happy. I don't speak Bigfoot, but I guarantee you it had some words that I don't say in it.
It's almost like it's a fast-paced Native American language or something along those lines.
That's what that samurai chatter sounds like to me.
Yeah.
If you could slow it down, you could probably figure it out. But if a man could find a Native American medicine man or a medicine woman that know the old language that's been long forgotten, I'm sure they changed their language to a certain degree over the years. And most of your Native American languages, unless it's on reservation, you don't hear nothing about it, and it's not taught in school.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Well, remember that happened to me over our research area twice.
The samurai chatter, yeah.
Yeah.
And the two that were talking back and forth, I heard on the 2 different times, theirs was a lot like the samurai chatter, but it wasn't as aggressive. That one.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It just like that, just back and forth like us talking. Mm-hmm. It wasn't very bit aggressive. It's like, well, what's that little red-headed white boy doing now? He said, yeah. We put 15 things across his trail, and he's still sitting here. So
Let's see. Ken commented on here. Thank you, Ken, for joining us. He said they have evolved according to their environment and dangers they've encountered. So they have different traits, just like people do, physical and behavioral. That's exactly right.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's exactly right.
That
Thank you,
was a
Ken.
good
Good to have you
comment.
here, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ken. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah. All right.
I'm Batman.
Oh,
Okay. Crazy phone, man. Trying to tap
Don't
in
blame the phone.
Huh?
Don't you blame the phone.
I just did. What you gonna do?
you need to hold in your mouth right. What's wrong?
Oh, hello. So,
I tell you what he'll do, Harlan. Next time he won't stop you, he'll say, "All right, big boy, you just go on up in there and let that get a hold of you."
yeah.
Well, from what he showed me today, I kind of want to upgrade my arms for next time we go.
I'm telling you, whatever made that was big because I'm telling you, it was that long on that tree. It was huge.
Oh, I believe it.
Whatever left that, I don't know. I don't want to know. I really don't.
Oh, I do.
don't.
Yes, you do. Don't say,
Yes, you do. Don't lie.
Harley, it's too cloudy to go into that high-powered line now.
Friggin' long on the tree. You talk about
That's
something that
okay.
has a hand this friggin' big with claws. That just
That's okay.
But actually, that is actually not outside the realms of a Bigfoot. I mean, those I've got big hands, and compared
I
to
got big hands
the
too.
print that they got at the North America over to Bigfoot Museum in
Georgia,
Blue Ridge, Georgia. They've got a
Oh, yeah.
handprint over there, and I'm telling you, I've got big hands, but it swallows mine. I'd say the fingers are 4 to 5 inches longer than my hand.
Well, I remember Harley stuck almost his whole hand in that one print.
yeah,
Just
and that
that
one is dug
fingerprint.
out in the ditch, like in
Yep.
the bank over there. Yeah, that was huge. I mean, it's one
Well,
of the
that
fingers was as
one
big as my
that,
hand.
That one that we found where they was digging up roots, that was, I mean,
Yeah.
I've got skinny hands, and I mean, I can't palm a basketball by no means, but it looks like it was almost 3 fingers to my one finger where they was gouging into the ground digging them roots up.
Yeah, that 3D scan turned out pretty good of the handprint.
I wished we'd have had something to pour that with.
That would have been cool.
And I'll let you know how this stuff works that I got to try the pouring.
That plasti dip should work.
I'm going to try it and see how I'm going to do it this weekend and see if I got deer running through here all the time. So I think I've got some deer track over here in the hill. I'm going to go pour and see if it works. My problem is it going to harden up fast enough?
It shouldn't take too long, about 30, 40 minutes, because whenever I'd pour my lead heads on my jigs, I'd dip my jig heads in that plasti dip, and I just let them hang.
Oh, Harley's froze. Oh, there he is.
Wow. Everything's acting
I
up.
paused out there for me.
Well, with Harley, you never can tell.
That's true.
I thought his phone was having a Charlie horse again.
Now it's our little friends in here trying to cut us off.
That's okay. Let them play.
Everybody's buffering. Let's see. We got Patrick Noble in the chat. Hello, Patrick. Good to have you, sir. All right. So we got about 10 minutes left.
Ask him a question, I think.
Do what?
I think Patrick's wanting to ask Tim a question. He said Mr. Tim, so I don't know.
We lost Robert. Rebooting Rob. What'd you say, Rob?
I said I think Patrick Noble's wanting to ask Tim a question. He addressed him as Mr. Tim.
No, I didn't miss any questions. Yeah, if you have questions, leave them in all caps, please.
And feel free to ask any question you want.
Yeah, I ask away. Yes, yeah. I mean, we're just 7 people in here, but
We ain't gonna lie to you.
no, we're
Lord,
just gonna shoot you down.
Whatever we tease will be of the gospel truth, the best of our knowledge and ability.
That's right.
I'd
Yeah,
hate
No,
to
there is no such thing as an expert in this field.
Yeah,
No.
They all know.
just saying hi.
No matter what Steve Cole says.
That's the first indication they don't know what they're talking about when they say they're an expert.
There ain't no expert in this.
Well, my question for you boys is, now we go hunting during the day because you can see everything, you can find sign. What do these guys go at night finding other than big shadows?
Big shadows, heat signatures, and a lost cause.
Only thing I think that they really truly go for is 2 reasons. Number one, maybe the thermal works a little bit better than in the dark. And number 2, you're going to add a little bit of mystique to everything and make it a little bit more spooky and first one thing another. And that's the only thing I can think of, because in my personal opinion, if it's, an area that you're not really and truly 100% sure of, if something other goes haywire, you do not know which way to run in the dark.
No.
You can pretty much, get a quicker assessment of
I'll be right back, boys.
if you need to run.
One thing might be, and I don't know, but one thing it might be if it's an area that gets a lot of foot traffic. If they come out at night, they ain't that many people in the woods, so they feel a little more free to move around. We go places that's so far back that
that's true.
We don't see hardly anybody, if we ever see anybody.
Well, see, my thing is these creatures hunt at night.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be out there with an 8-foot to 12-foot creature that's hunting while I'm out there, because he might decide I look good enough to eat. I mean, I am a good-looking guy, but still,
It depends on how many cases of John Boy and Billy grilling sauce he's got back in the cave.
It might take a lot.
It's like Braille cream, a little dabble, do you?
I'm back. Had to take a bathroom break. Need to start going to the bathroom before I'm doing this. Let's see. Patrick Noble says, love what you do. Hope I can meet you all sometime. Patrick's in Gaston County, North Carolina.
Okay.
He found tracks at the LBL. Ooh. What kind of tracks? Bigfoot, dummy?
Wow.
What kind of tracks?
Dude, tell us what you found there, Patrick.
Yeah.
What kind of tracks you find?
Ken Shivers, among different southeastern tribes, we used to have a trade language that tribes used to communicate. I think only 1 or 2 people exist today who know this language. The men in black don't know.
Well, that might be a far stretch, because if you take the Native American code talkers that was back during the war, that
the Navajo.
They probably, MIB's probably done knows everything about that.
Yeah.
16-inch Bigfoot track. That's pretty good sized boy.
Yeah, that's good size young, and thank you, Patrick.
Well, I mean, that one that we found after we was up there at that playground, that was a big one.
What, 19 inches?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't that what we measured that at?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it's about 19 and a quarter, somewhere around in there.
Yeah, it is 19 and a quarter.
So he's probably a 9-footer. That 16-inch one was probably close to what, 7.5?
Yeah, I just double my height. If one's got a 24-inch foot, it's 12 foot tall.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Well, I mean, I'm 6'6". I have a size
12, but you're oddly shaped, so
Thanks, George.
We still love you, but still, I mean.
Harley, if we didn't pick on you, son, you'd swear we did not love you anymore.
I know.
The cast that me and my wife done up there where we was at, it was 16 inches long and 8 inches wide, and I'm pretty sure that's the one I saw up there. And it was about between 7.5 and 8 foot tall.
Is that the one you seen in the tree line that day?
The one that was shoulder looking at you?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I can't believe I got that one on video.
If you watch the video that you did where he's putting up Tim's camera, if you watch in the back, you can actually see something move.
Oh yeah.
I noticed that the other day. I watched it go from this tree to this tree.
Well,
And
I'll
it
have
ain't
to go
small.
back. I'll have to go back and watch that.
Yeah, I noticed it the other day. I was
Well,
like,
I mean, we heard that noise twice. You know,
Yeah.
you heard it on our way in, and then we heard it right there when we were hanging the camera.
the boys, they were all around us the whole time we were in there.
I know.
Oh,
I
we've
mean, they were
been watching.
parallel
Just,
That whole drive into that place.
oh yeah, all the way in, all the way out. We've been followed. They was watching every move we made. They know just exactly what we were doing. I mean,
think
it was just downright wild.
I
think
loved
we messed them up a little bit when we didn't do exactly like me and Dwight does.
Well, yeah,
You
we
know,
take
me and
them off
Dwight,
guard.
they started one end and work up that bottom up to the top. Well, we went in and circled back around
Oh yeah,
and then went out through the field and got in the road and walked it back up. And so I'm a thinking that's used to mine and Dwight's route that we usually take. Hey, baby, that we take, and then all of a sudden they ain't done what they're supposed to, and we caught them off guard. I honestly believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah. They
I thought
probably
the
was
fact
really
that those
curious
little ones
about
were in
me.
there made a difference too.
Yeah, I think we confused them is what we done.
Yeah.
They were probably really curious about me. Well, look there, he's probably one of us as big as he is. And that's what Tim said in the video too. We was all videoing there cutting up, and Tim's like, well, we was like, Tim was talking about how they were thinking, oh, well, he's got friends. It's in the video. It's funny. We're all sitting there cutting up and laughing. And that's one thing, you know, I don't want to edit everything and all that stuff and keep it all unedited and stuff. So I just leave the raw footage, you know, so everybody can enjoy it.
That's
Well,
good.
I mean, that's the only way you really and truly can do it, because if you make it look too daggum serious or too much, you know, kind of like a college professor type deal, you're going to bore the dog crap out of somebody. I mean,
Yeah.
whether, you know, it's your own teammates or, you know, the general public, you're going to find something humorous is going to happen regardless, no matter what. And we deliver everything to people. I mean, it don't make no difference what it is. If we find humor in something other, yeah, we're going to crack a joke.
Oh, yeah.
If something other, you know, does get serious, we know how to shift gears and, you know, go into that other zone. But to me, doing Bigfoot research, don't get me wrong, I love paranormal investigations. I love going to haunted locations, love going into haunted graveyards, haunted houses, whatever. But when you're out here in the woods and, you know, you're face to face, per se, with these creatures and these cryptids like this, you never know what exactly to expect. I mean, there's more. I don't know what word I'm looking for, but there's more of a chance of something or other catching you further off guard than what you would if you was doing an actual paranormal investigation. And it just that them bills of fire under me. The more I get, the more I want.
That's me. But plus the fact that I really enjoy going out with everybody.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, just the fact that we have such a good time and we're so relaxed, we have a better chance of finding more stuff because we're not all out there real intense on finding all this stuff. We're having a good time, and that's when you find everything. Because the more we have a good time, the more the Bigfoot are going to react and the dogman's going to react to us. We're not as serious that way.
This is Kenny from Star Fox Radio, NADP in Maine, the Dogman Project. This is Kenny. He's the one that's going to come on the podcast with us.
Oh, okay, cool.
Kenny
Nice to meet you.
Kenny, I'm sorry if I butchered your last name, bro. I Thibodeau, fool. I'm sorry, but I'm just gonna say Kenny. I'm sorry.
I think
bro.
it's Thibodeau, if I'm not bad fool.
Thibodeau. Yeah, I don't want to mess up your name, Kenny. I'm sorry if I butchered it. Let's see. Tim is not in Virginia. Tim is from North Carolina, Franklin.
We do have a property up in Saltville, Virginia.
Oh, I didn't know.
That's where Dwight and Bob got the ones on thermal up there on that property.
Oh.
So we do go up to Saltville, and I've actually still got audio recorders and trail cams up there now.
Oh,
well,
wow.
we all do, but all three of us. But that's just where we go up there. It's in Saltville.
Oh. Oh, let's see. We got Randall just now joining us. We got Blue Eye Northern, and yeah, the best part, meeting new people and new ideas. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Yep. 100%.
And I have to say, this group right here, I like y'all because y'all think outside the box like me. We're not just doing the same thing everybody else is doing. We're stretching it out. We're trying to find new ways to get what we need to get. Plain and simple. And I can come up with an idea and talk to you, and you had no problem. Rob can come up with an idea, and we'll all go with it. Harley, anybody that comes up with an idea, we all just kind of talk it over and try it out.
Oh, thank you, Pamela. We really appreciate that. She says you all are amazing researchers. We appreciate you all sharing your experiences and research. No problem.
That.
You know, the general public
Al,
deserves to
we
know.
appreciate you.
Yeah, the general public deserves to know. You know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's hidden from us. You know, and that's one of my biggest things. You know, I'm trying to carry on Scott Carpenter's legacy, so to speak. You know, he kind of left this world too soon, you know, and didn't finish his mission. And I kind of can't help but feel like he's kind of guiding me in a way.
That you was talking about that, Harley, about what they're hiding, and I've told you guys about the Forest Service, them using the limb that I take to our festivals and that kind of stuff was actually used to show the Forest Service. So we know that they know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that not everybody in the public knows that they know.
And the military knows. They get the paperwork and the pamphlets about it.
Oh yeah, and you get all these people, which tickles me to death. Well, they ain't this, blah 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 blah. Scientists ain't this, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and how long have we had UFOs and that kind of stuff around, and they ain't said nothing about them till now?
No, yeah, exactly.
So it'll come out on their time or not at all.
Exactly.
Yep.
Let's see. Star Fox Radio.
Yeah,
I love your logo that you made there, buddy. I appreciate it. I know you was the one that made it. Thank you, pal.
Yeah, he's the one that made the NCI
I
logo.
kind of hate him, and I don't know why
I'm breaking out the bush. Lord is breaking out the bush.
What?
You're breaking out the bush.
That's Robert's thing. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, I know, but I didn't think he was going to do it on live.
He's been drinking it the whole time.
Lord have mercy, Robert. What are you doing?
Cooling
There's
off.
something for me,
I
bro.
was thirsty.
Well, I know you was thirsty.
I'm
All
like
right.
I'm like Doc Holliday, Harley. I've yet begun to defile myself.
You're crazy, Rob. Well, boys,
Hey.
we're a little over an hour mark. So we got any closing statements? I'll start with George, and then we'll go Rob, and then we'll go Tim. Then we'll go.
Well, all I can say is I can't wait to get back out in the woods and go get our cameras and see what kind of footage we got. If whatever good footage we got, we will share with everybody.
Yeah.
And I appreciate everybody coming and watching us and asking questions. And y'all be safe. And I'll turn it over.
Robert.
thank you everybody for joining in. We sure do appreciate you. This group of guys right here, I couldn't ask for a better band of brothers to be in the woods with. Everybody's got their own way of doing things, and everything just lines up. It clicks. It's just like we were made to be the team that we are now.
Mhm.
Everything, it's just I can't give enough stars and flowers to everybody, to make things be justified. It's just amazing time we have out there in the woods. We're going to tell you what we find if we find it. If we don't find it, we're going to make sure we tell you that we don't find it. We don't manufacture nothing. None of our podcasts or anything else for that matter is scripted. And when we go in the woods, we take extreme caution. We watch one another's back. And if anybody out there decides this is what they want to do, be sure you be safe. Make sure everybody knows where you're at, because you are going to wind up in some locations. There's no cell phone service or anything else. You got, other than cryptids to deal with, you've got rattlesnakes, you got copperhead, you got coyotes, you got bear. In some cases, in some places, you've got elk, you've got moose, depending on where you're at in the United States. Above and beyond all else, just behave, be careful, and don't go out there trying to, be the next John Wayne, because it won't turn out real good for you if you do that.
Patrick, we got a comment right here that's caught my interest. He said, Power line inspector report a BFRO sighting in York County in South Carolina. Sighting is 2 miles from Catawba nuclear plant. How far is that from Eric?
Not that
That
far.
shouldn't be over about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive.
That's interesting.
Yes, it is.
We appreciate the comment. She's keeping us prayed up. And Kenny said since 1985 in New England there has been over 285 sightings of dogmen and Bigfoot. Gnarly.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I guess Tim Bob's up next.
Well, just thank everybody for tuning in, like we said on our podcast. Just glad to have everybody. Look us all up. You see all of our names. Look us up on Facebook. Follow us. Because a lot of the stuff we post on there before we get it on YouTube or TikTok or any of that stuff. And the two groups my main two groups is Dirty South Squatching and NCI podcast with these guys. So that's because I know I don't have to worry about nobody faking nothing.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
I keep my true friends group that I squatch with small, because I ain't got time to play games, and we don't. We take it serious. We have them all at it, but we take it serious, but we have fun at the same time.
That's right.
If we tell you a mouse can pull a house, get you a camera and a log chain, because you're going to see a mouse pull a house.
Mm-hmm.
We don't mix words with it. We don't try to make stuff up, and that's what kills me. You got so many folks that try to, make a name for themselves. We ain't never going to be famous. We ain't never going to have our own
TV show or nothing like that.
Like that.
Well, now wait a minute. I'm trying.
George does keep pimping us out, so they ain't.
I do.
But we do it because we want answers, and
right.
See, that's what it's about. If you're in it for the fame and glory, you might as well quit, because somebody's going to bust your bubble.
Yep.
And we just have fun. So keep up with us, see what we got going on, because we do it year round. So, and if you want to go, give us a shout.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
We need bait bad.
Yeah, it ain't me. It ain't gonna be me.
Hardest to be sell bait. So Boys, I got to do one more thing, and I hate to do this, but I got to do a selfless promotion. I apologize.
Do it.
Well,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
got my books are on Amazon. It's Legends, Myths, Monsters, and Ghosts, the USA edition, and also Monsters of the World reference guides on Amazon. And I got a new book coming out in December. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
Is it the book that I'm thinking about?
It's going to be Legends, Myths, Monsters, and Ghosts, the North American edition.
Oh, not
And
this.
I
Not
will
this.
be talking about our hunt where I seen my first one. Will be in the back of the book. And yes, I will be mentioning these gentlemen by name in the book.
Yes.
So,
Woohoo!
you know,
I'll be signing autographs, everybody. I'll be
they're my
signing
buds,
autographs.
so they
don't
got to
worry.
be in the book. So,
I'll sign autographs. Well, boys, it's been a fun night. We need to figure out how to get NCI's YouTube channel going, and we can link the lives together. I think so. Like whenever I do a live, we can link it together. We just need to figure it
I'm
out.
gonna work on that tomorrow night.
I'm going to let you and Rob handle that because Yuns are the ones who like to do that. I will do it.
Jens don't want me nowhere near it.
Me neither.
The only thing I need is about 3 hours of somebody to just be in the wings in case I need to send a link to make sure everything's working like it ought to.
Well, we can test
And,
it without going live. I mean, we can just be in the stage and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
that's what I'm gonna try to do tomorrow night.
Okay.
And where I can do like what we're doing right now, except for being the complete live on it. Make sure to get all the bugs and everything out.
Yeah.
I used to know how to do this stuff, with my eyes shut, but I've not played with it so much because I've been stretched in 37 different directions, and it's like riding a bicycle. If you don't do it, you about forget. And plus, on top of that, I'm an old man. My Alzheimer's kicking in.
You're younger than me and Tim. Hush.
It's the bush.
No. Too much moonshine.
Ah, okay.
Oh, that's even better.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
all the years when the peach shine will be the jar will be sitting on the table.
Well,
I ain't carrying him out of the woods on that one, guys.
I ain't either.
No, I'm not taking none of that into the woods. No,
He'll be fair game, man.
He's only mad because Bigfoot wants to share.
Yeah,
I'm stingy.
It'd be like the time my dad and uncle went deer hunting, and it was real cold, and my uncle got to sipping on some moonshine, and they was up here near one of the hiker shelters off the Appalachian Trail, and Daddy met up some people that was actually hiking. He's standing there talking to him. He said, "Hang on a second," said, "I hear something a coming." And he looked, was it, what kind of idiot's that trying to come drive down in here? And he looked, and here come his Jeep. My uncle had sat in the tree stand and drinking. He was fine as long as he was cold, but then he got in the Jeep and turned the heater on, got warm, and got loop-legged, and here he comes, driving all the way off down in there.
Oh my gosh.
He wasn't walking in cursive, was he?
I tell you what, if you know where that place was at, you'd be like, I'm glad it wasn't my Jeep. If I would have done it, Daddy'd have killed me.
Oh, I can imagine.
Well, Hardy, wrap us up, son.
Well, all right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Part 2 of NCI and Dirty South Squatching Takeover, Nantahala. Will be dropping.
Nantahala.
Nantahala.
No.
You're on the wrong side of the harbor. Nantahala.
You've been watching Lilo and Stitch too much.
Nantahala. Is that better?
That's better.
Nantahala.
That's about like somebody calling Appalachian. Man, you better commit blasphemy.
Appalachian.
There you go.
Nantahala. National
Give that man
Forest.
the clap.
Part 2 is coming Sunday.
May have done
Part 3 will be coming possibly Tuesday or Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. Thank y'all for watching. Be sure to like the video. Most importantly, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. All you gotta do is hit a button. But thank each and every one of you for being in the chat tonight. And if you haven't, be sure to get in contact with Tim and Rob and George. Go like NCI podcast and join the Facebook group Dirty South Squatching and my Facebook group Bigfoot Reports and Data. Would love to have you all in there. But until next time, y'all, thanks and God bless.
Night, John boy.
Good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Good night, Sue Ellen.
All right.